George Lucas canon, which is why I like it. And the Small Town Republic said, it is odd that they haven't been able to take whatever is the most well-received Visions episodes and make it into a series. Dude, I couldn't agree more. I would watch an entire season on the Ronin. I would watch an entire season on the Ninth Jedi. Those two. And the sisters. Yeah, I would watch an entire season on the sisters. It's really good shit. Bunny and what is the sisters? Bunny and Lobo, right?
Yeah.
The younger sister is the bunny rabbit, right?
Yeah.
The bunny rabbit alien. Yeah. There he is. What up, buddy?
Hey, Muffler.
Yo.
Yeah, I mean, Roman. I 100% agree with Small Town Republic.
I want to be that building.
We have been talking about this. So guys, we can actually say that we've been talking about this for years because we have mentioned Visions multiple times. We've been talking about Visions since season 1 came out because we reviewed season 1. And when season 1 came out, we were very new at reviewing things, right? But it came out the same year as Kenobi. So that was very early into our streaming career. But
I want to forget Kenobi as soon as possible, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring it up. Wait. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bring it up. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry.
Wait.
I'm triggered.
Words are violence. Triggered.
We weren't streaming yet when we reviewed Visions. We were solely on Spotify.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be right about that.
Yeah.
But we do, however, bring up Visions often when we talk about Star Wars. Because Visions is really fucking cool. And it proves the fact of the matter that just give Star Wars to the Japanese.
Muffler, I know you're not the biggest fan of Star Wars, but give Visions a shot.
Oh, would I give Visions a shot? I mean, I have a lot of respect for the anime studios, and if they're just one-off stories and stuff like that, then I don't have to get terribly invested in the larger whatever Disney's pushing, and so, yeah, that makes it more acceptable for me, certainly.
So, what if I were to tell you that when it comes to at least the first 3 episodes that we are talking about, when it comes to Ronin, Ninth Jedi, and Bunny and Lobo, when it comes to those 3 episodes, and they are not woke at all, if they were to continue those stories, Star Wars anime, you're watching it. It doesn't matter that it's in the Star Wars universe view. Does it matter that it's more so the message?
No, I mean, it would be like whether or not it's telling a good story. The issue for me is that it's hard for me to disassociate, like, because for me, and we've talked about this on stream before, but for me, my first exposure to Star Wars probably was the prequel trilogy. Before then, I don't remember because you'd have to catch Star Wars like on television and stuff. And my parents didn't particularly own any of them on like VHS or anything, So until the prequel trilogy started up, I didn't really have any exposure. And then when that happened, I mean, I can certainly tell you that George Lucas was not a retard because I was all about that damn pod racing and like all this cool shit that was being brought to the table. Thought it was really awesome. And then, you get a little bit older and it's like, oh shit, Disney's actually going to bring, more Star Wars. We've been waiting years again for stuff. Okay, let's see what happens. Right. And then that just got progressively worse, but in my opinion, I'm a really big fan of the original trilogy. I enjoy the original trilogy. And then I do enjoy the prequels to an extent. But I have not rewatched the prequels in a long time. I have rewatched the original trilogy once in a while. So that's where I'm at, man. I mean, like, I've not read any of the books. I have never cared for reading the books. In fact, I think the biggest reason why I didn't was because as soon as I was old enough to maybe like buy the books and stuff, and, when I was out on my own, the thing is that Disney had already taken over and like removed all that from canon. So I was like, well, why bother? That's kind of where I was at.
So I don't blame you for that because a lot of people feel that same exact way, and that was the main problem is that they said that it wasn't canon.
Yeah, it's Legends.
Yeah, well, they never should have came out and said it wasn't canon. They could have just said we're going with a different continuity, and that is a different story because by saying it's not canon, you kill off the Yuzhan. Excuse me, you kill off the Yuzhan Vong. You kill off Revan. You kill off the Old Republic entirely.
Yeah.
So that's the major problem.
Outside of that, my only exposure was like video games. And let me tell you, man, like Star Wars Unleashed was really cool back in the day. And then I did like the first of the Fallen Order games, you know, like, I did like that first one. That one was a lot of fun to me.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
I was going to say, unfortunately,
it's actually the first of the Jedi games because they're called Jedi. Yeah. So it's Jedi Fallen Order, and then it's Jedi. What is it? Jedi Survivor. Second one.
Something like that. Yeah,
Survivor is the second one.
I haven't played Survivor yet. I knew that it had a lot of issues on PC when it released, and so that was part of the reason why I didn't touch it. But no,
don't pay attention to the lore. It's a lot of fun. Don't pay attention.
Okay. I was going to say the one issue for me that probably didn't make me a hardcore. Sorry, go ahead, Roman.
No. I was just gonna say it's about time that I live up to my moniker. I've had The Last Ronin as my username for the last year. It's about time that I actually be The Last Ronin. That Roland is Michelangelo. Believe me or not. The Last Ronin is a TMNT book where everyone gets murked and Mikey is the only one left. It's hard as hell. It's really cool.
I heard that comic was good, but and that's why it's one of the top sellers still in the United States, like years after release too. Like it's one of those heavy hitters.
I loved it. So
wait, all of the turtles get killed?
Yep, it's only Mikey left.
So
Ninja Turtles, brother, so sick.
yeah. I let that breathe for a second there. The last point I wanted to make on Star Wars, and this is probably the biggest one. No, dude, you're solid, bro. The last big point on Star Wars that I would make is that the biggest things to that franchise, in my opinion, were some things that I never got a chance to play, and it's because I was not an Xbox bro. I was a PlayStation guy, and so what can you ask yourself that came out on Xbox that ended up being one of the most popular things ever in Star Wars history, and that's KOTOR, and then, KOTOR 2, and then turning around and also having Knights of the Old Republic proper as an MMO if you had a proper PC at the time and stuff too. So I missed out on everything Old Republic, and I understand that's like one of the last cool things to ever come out too. And so that's why I'm not as big a fan as other people too, to be honest with you. So.
No, honestly, I agree with you. And the loss of all of that was it wasn't the fact that they just went, oh, the books aren't canon. Like
BioWare sucks now too, unfortunately, but
it was the fact that you deleted the OT, or not the OT, the Old Republic. That was what hurt people. It wasn't, and I can tell you as a Star Wars fan, that was the main thing I was seeing from everybody at that time in 2014. It wasn't the fact that, the new Jedi Order 14-book series wasn't canon anymore, or that everything after Return of the Jedi wasn't canon anymore. It was basically two big arcs. New Jedi Order is part of this arc, but it was the fact that the Heir to the Empire and the Yuzhan Vong coming in after Return of the Jedi wasn't canon, and then you had the Old Republic that was now not canon, and that just felt like a big fuck you to every single fucking Star Wars fan who had been invested in those stories since they were a kid. Mm-hmm. And We came out and we said something about it. And what did we get in return? You're a Nazi. That's what we got in return. So when people are surprised why I'm so mad about what they're doing with Disney Star Wars or Star Wars in general, I was 14 years old being called a Nazi because I commented on a YouTube video that this is wrong. Why are the things that my dad read to me as a kid, why do they not make sense? Why do they not matter anymore? Like, that meant something to me. And you took that from me. That's how I feel. You took that away. You said that doesn't matter.
Yeah. The closest thing I had to that feeling, man, because again, my investment was different in Star Wars, but let me tell you something that pissed me off a lot. So I grew up right around the same time that the rise of superhero movies began to begin with, and we're talking like pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, so we're talking like X-Men for Fox. We're talking like the Blade trilogy. Crow, a couple other ones too. I know I'm forgetting. I mean, obviously there was like Fantastic Four and stuff like that. So all of that was really good, right? But I loved X-Men a lot. Okay, X-Men, that trilogy, even though the third one definitely went off the deep end. The thing is that original X trilogy was fantastic, and the thing is that like the closest thing I have to that feeling that you have is like seeing Professor X just get eviscerated, just get his head just popped off, type thing. When it
talking
came
about
to
are we talking about
Multiverse of Madness?
I hated that movie.
Yeah, bro. Like I was like, you
I thought you were talking about the
motherfuckers.
third movie.
So I was
thought you were talking
actually
about the third movie.
Well, that happens in the third movie, but the thing is that like Disney is just like, oh hey, we're gonna give you Patrick Stewart back. Oh look, we're gonna dangle. Oh, and he's just gonna instantly die. Oh, I hope that's cool with you, right?
Oh, all of
No,
the fans are
they
hype as
disrespected
fuck
him.
for the fact that John Krasinski is going to play fucking Reed Richards, and then you're like, yeah, he's gonna be Reed Richards, and then you murder him, and you're like, it's gonna be Pedro Pascal. Are you fucking serious?
I don't want to harp on, but that's what that felt like to me. I'm just like, you didn't need to make these decisions, okay?
Like
it could have been any. Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Roland,
and
can I show
like,
you?
dude, hold on 1 second. Small Time Republic says something that's really fucking awesome, and I wish I was there, dude. I really do wish I was there. Small Time Republic says I went to the Expanded Universe meetup in Dallas this past weekend. It was great. So what Ryan Kennel from RK Outpost did was there was supposed to be a whole con in Texas for like Star Wars fans. And they ended up canceling it because like they wouldn't bring in certain people from what I heard. Politics wise. But Ryan already had the tickets booked, and a couple other people already had the tickets booked. So just like Roman and I would do, if we had a meetup booked for a con and the con got canceled, we would still go. So Ryan still went, and Ryan hung out with people. Small Time Republic was there. I wish I was there too, bro. But I wish I had the money. I would have been there. But Small Time Republic was hanging out with Ryan all weekend. That's pretty at the meetup over the weekend. It's pretty fucking cool. And yeah, you got to talk to him. You got to talk to others. But I mean, Small Time, you can tell us the whole thing is how it went down. But like that's the thing, man. You don't need a lot of people to have some friends to talk about some nerdy stuff. I mean, look at the four of us right now. It's kind of beautiful that group said, oh, the con got canceled. What's it matter? We can all just get dinner together and hang out all night. Hold on. Matt Wilkins and the Twin Sons Foundation helped put it together. We probably had 20 to 25 people total. Small enough to talk to anybody. That's really cool, dude. That's awesome. That's an awesome little meetup.
Have I ever showed you this? I found this in my closet. I don't know how long that I've had this for,
Don't
but
show
I've
me
been
your
like reading.
dildo. I don't need to see it.
Oh, sorry. Look, The Godfather. I read it once like a long time ago, but I'm currently reading through it now again.
Oh.
Fantastic. Better than the movie.
I don't think you've ever shown me that you have that. No.
I got a friend who really likes all things mobster and stuff like that, and that's literally his internet handle is The Godfather. So yeah.
So I
It's legit.
have a Magneto book that I can never read because every time that I look at the cover, I instantly think about Movie Bomb. Every single time. I always think about Movie Bomb. Every time. It's a great book, but I can't read it because I always think about him. Hold on.
Is the book called Magneto is Right?
No, but the hold on. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing. To the actual point here, no jokes, all jokes aside, I'm not sure what happened with the cancellation of the convention with the EU authors. Yeah, because it was supposed to be an entire EU convention. Like, it wasn't even just Star Wars, it was like EU specifically.
I was going to say that like Dallas is getting a little bit more militant recently, especially in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I could see, some people being concerned with security there or something in general if that contributed, but I don't know the full story.
That
Obviously,
most certainly could have contributed. I don't see why it wouldn't. All I know is that what Ryan did was really cool. To still go, still hold a meetup, still hang out with his fans. That's pretty fucking awesome. That's what Roman and I aspire to do. If Roman and I were to say, "Hey, we're going to WizardCon," or "We're going to the Renaissance Fair," and then it gets canceled, we'll still hang out with everybody. We'll still figure out a way to do the meetup, and I appreciate the fact that Ryan did that. Because honestly, Ryan knows more about Star Wars than anybody here on this panel.
So before I hop off for
I would certainly hope so.
Before I hop off for the night,
maybe me, I'm closest.
I think that I don't know if I've ever told you guys that I had this, but this is one of the coolest crossovers in history. This is one of my prized possessions, and I'm mad that I opened it, but I love it. It's Batman and TMNT. This is hard. This is really cool. I think I've showed this, but this is really sick. This is really cool. And like Batman fights Shredder, it is the coolest shit ever. It is the coolest shit ever. And
Batman versus Shredder sounds fucking wild.
Dude, you know what, Roland? If you promise that you won't lose it, I'll let you borrow it because
I will borrow it and give it back to you the next day.
That's fine.
What's happening?
As a matter of fact, when I see you in person, I'll bring the comic and I'll let you borrow it.
Okay.
But
I'll give it back to you the next day.
Yeah. But no. In all seriousness, though, I love you guys. We are gonna be watching Red. We're gonna be watching Red versus Blue tomorrow night, and we'll be back with your regularly scheduled chaos next week. We got Monday Night Mayhem.
Hold on, Roman.
This coming Monday, The Moon is Weird. I am your host, RG Energy, your local communist. And until next time, thank you, everybody. I am out of here. Roland, you can feel free to keep going, but I am out. Down with capitalism. Peace.
Oh my god.
Gay ass communist.
Dude, I got into an argument with somebody that insulted